Just because you're alone does not mean you're lonely, doesn't it? I'm Empathic Sight. I'm a low vision Canadian, but I also like to talk about wellness and self-care. And today I want to talk about the difference between solitude and self-isolation. We're also going to talk about why we self-isolate, what the causes are behind it, and what we can do to combat it. Because we all are social creatures, whether we admit to it or not. And I am just as guilty as the rest of you. So let's dive in. Solitude isn't the issue until it is. So being alone and spending time with your own company is fine. It promotes relaxation, creativity, and gives you time for self-reflection. And that's completely healthy. Everybody needs to be alone sometimes. We can't always be on and with other people 24/7. But when that aloneness starts to feel like disconnection, when you stop reaching out to other people, that's when we're starting to look at self-isolation. This is when we feel afraid or anxious or nervous that we're becoming a burden on others or that no one gets it. That's self-isolation. It can also be really, really sneaky. So let's talk about what it looks like, okay? So one of the things that it can look like is you want to talk to people, you want to reach out, but you feel so fatigued and so exhausted, and the idea of talking to someone is just too much for you. Another one is that you scroll through messages without even replying, even if you miss that connection or you miss that person. You just don't have that urge to respond or to connect. Another one can be that you want to see people, you want to reach out and connect, but at the very last minute, you cancel every time. There's reasons behind that. Don't worry, we'll talk about that. And the last one, and this is something that I'm guilty of all the time, is you start to feel like you're a burden on other people. That your presence is a drain on their energy, or your needs are a drain on their resources. This is completely normal. At least I hope so. So these feelings can often come from anxiety, fear, fatigue, the feeling of being a burden, the feeling of being misunderstood, or the feeling that nobody gets it and nobody cares. So let's talk about how we can gently reconnect and pull ourselves out of that self-isolation and rejoin the people and places that we want to connect with. You don't have to make a massive life-altering change. You can start very small. Tiny baby steps. Okay, so the first one is message a friend. Message someone that you've been wanting to talk to, even if it's just, hi, how are you? You don't have to have a big, long, hour-long conversation over the phone. Just send a message. That reaches out, okay? The second one is say yes to something that is lower on your expectations, even if it's something online. So if someone says, hey, let's do a video call at 6, you know what? That's a small thing. Doesn't take a lot of your energy. You don't have to go out into the world and interact. It's just a very small bit, and it really helps to help you reach out and work towards minimizing that self-isolation. Another one is join a community that shares your interests. This could be an online community through Discord, Facebook, whatever kind of platform you want to use. I'm just thinking of me, sorry. And then the last one is use technology to your advantage. Like I said before, with video calls, you do not have to go out into the community. You do not have to meet people in person. If you want to do a video call or a group message, that's one way that you can reach out today. That is a small baby step towards getting away from that self-isolation. Just remember that studies have shown that social connection and interacting with others is just as important for your health and your wellness as diet and good exercise. So it's just as important to take care of our mental health as it is our physical health. Remember that even tiny interactions can lift your mood and reduce your stress. Let me tell you a little thing about me. I actually struggle with self-isolation, and oftentimes it does have to do with my blindness. The world is not created as a supportive and accessible means of getting around. But at the same time, I have that struggle where I feel people just don't care. You know, the people around me, they don't care. And this is not true. This is by no means true. But it gets in my head, right? That you know, the self-isolation creeps into our heads. And we start to have those feelings, those anxieties, those fears, those feelings that nobody gets it, nobody cares, and the world is not made for us. So this is something that I do struggle with, and I do work on it quite often. I luckily have some pretty good people in my life. I do connect with people outside of the house, but I also connect online, which is another form of a community, and it helps me to avoid that self-isolation. So now, for me, when I have solitude, when I have peace and quiet, it's a choice, and it's my choice. It's not something that happens to me, it's something that I choose to do. And I choose to be social at times, and other times I enjoy the peace and quiet. I enjoy the time to reflect and relax and, let's face it, get creative. So that's a bit about my story. So let's take a moment and check in. Are you enjoying your alone time? Are you feeling relaxed? Or are you stuck in it? If it's the second one, don't worry. You're not alone. And you're not broken. You are just ready for a re-entry, maybe a soft, gentle one, slowly, one step at a time. I hope this was helpful, and I really hope that if anybody is struggling with their self-isolation, that this really resonated with you. If this is something that you're going to try, please leave a comment down below. What's one way that you're going to reach out and avoid that isolation today? Let's try and reconnect with people that we sometimes forget about, because maybe, just maybe, they're struggling with isolation too. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, thanks for watching.